Hi, boys and girls. Well, today we're going to start looking at shadows. But did you know that some people have a problem with their shadow? I don't think I've ever had a problem with my shadow. It's pretty well behaved, and it does whatever I want it to do. Moonbear, he has a problem with his shadow. And Moonbear's Shadow is the title of our story. Oh, look, Moon, Bear. Yeah, compound word. Oh, and I see our shh blend. Shadow. Moonbear's Shadow by Frank Ash. And here's Moonbear, and we can see his shadow. Let's find out what Moonbear's problem is with a shadow. Moonbear's shadow. If you look closely in the picture, you can see his shadow on the wall. I see the passage of time as I watch the sun move across the sky and then set. And we can see when the sun is over here, the shadow of the tree is on this side. When the sun is above the tree, there is no shadow. And when the sun is over here, the shadow of the tree is on this side. And then, of course, at night, there's not that many shadows. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While he was putting a worm on his hook, he looked down and saw a big fish. I'm going to catch that fish, thought Bear to himself. But when Bear stood up to throw his line in the water, his shadow scared the big fish away. "Aw, go away, Shadow!" cried Bear. But Bear's shadow would not go away. I can't say that I've ever talked to my shadow. Perhaps I should. "Okay," said Bear. "If you won't go on your own, then I'll just have to get rid of you." And he put down his fishing pole and began to run. He ran around the pond, and when he got to the other side, he kept on running. So, do you think running away will get rid of the shadow? I just find that my shadow keeps up with me. He ran through a field of flowers, jumped over a brook, and then hid behind a tree. Good, thought Bear. Now Shadow can't find me. Interesting. So if I stand in the shadow of a tree, do I still have a shadow? Try it. But Bear was wrong. When he stepped out from behind the tree, the first thing he saw was his shadow. Nearby was a cliff. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up. I'll climb so high Shadow won't be able to follow me, thought Bear. So does climbing a cliff get the shadow to go away? Bear climbed higher and higher until at last he pulled himself up to the top. Huffing and puffing, he smiled with pride. Then he looked down and saw his shadow. All right, so apparently climbing a cliff doesn't get rid of your shadow. Now Bear was very annoyed, so he went home and got a hammer and some nails to nail his shadow to the ground. He hammered and hammered and hammered and hammered, but no matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't nail his shadow down. So he did a good job making the outline of his shadow with nails, but as soon as he stepped away, the nails all stayed, but his shadow did not. So I can't run away from it, I can't climb away from it, and I can't nail it down. Maybe there's another way. If I can't nail him down, thought Bear, maybe I can bury him. So he got his shovel and he dug a hole. When the hole was deep and wide, he let his shadow fall into the hole. That's a pretty good idea. And of course, you're standing by the hole, so your shadow is going into the hole. Makes sense. Okay, that might work. Might it? Then Bear filled in the hole with dirt, and when he was finished, it was almost noon. The sun was high in the sky, and Shadow was nowhere to be seen. At last, said Bear. No more Shadow. We know that when the sun is at an angle, the light from the sun hits us and we block the light, which creates a shadow. But if the sun is directly above us, where would our shadow be? But now Bear was very tired. So he went inside and he took a little nap. I like nap time. Do you like nap time? While he slept, time passed, and the sun once again cast shadows everywhere. So now we know the sun is directly above the shovel, so the shovel's shadow is right at the base of the shovel. You can't see it. But as the sun moves and becomes at an angle, then the light comes down, the shovel blocks the light, and we're starting to see a little shadow come back. Then, as the sun moves, the shadow is growing. As the sun moves, the shadow is growing. What do you think Moonbear is going to find when he wakes up? I agree with you. He'll probably find his shadow. When Bear got up and opened his door, he saw his shadow on the floor. Not you again, exclaimed Bear, and he slammed the door, hoping to lock Shadow inside. But Shadow was too quick. There he is outside with Bear. So, he tried running, he tried climbing, he tried burying, he tried nailing, he tried shutting the door. Sighed Bear. How about this? If you let me catch a fish, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head like this if it is a deal. When Bear nodded his head, Shadow nodded his head too. I often find that. I often find my shadow does exactly what I do. And this shadow is nodding his head just like Bear did. So now they've agreed. If they catch a fish, each one of them will have one. So Bear went back to the pond and once again threw his line in the water. By this time, the sun was in a different part of the sky, which made it easy for Shadow to keep his part of the deal. Remember in the morning? The sun was behind him, so his shadow was out over the water. But now the sun is in front of him, which makes his shadow kind of behind him, beside and a bit behind. not over the water. So now maybe it won't frighten the fish. And when Bear caught that big fish, Shadow caught one too. Intriguing. So if you go fishing, your shadow should catch a fish too if you catch a fish. If you don't catch a fish, your shadow probably won't catch one either. So let's think about the ways that Moonbear tried to fix his problem with his shadow. He ran, he climbed a cliff, he nailed it, he buried it, and he slammed the door. There were 5 different ways that Moonbear tried to fix his problem to get rid of that shadow. Did any of them work? Yeah. Choose the 2 that you like the best and draw them in your journal. Or you could choose 2 other ways that you think you could get rid of your shadow. I wonder what I would do to get rid of my shadow. I wonder, maybe I could